It just makes me really angry hearing that this was happening to young women. It was unprovoked, in broad daylight.
Developing tonight, a hate crime on the streets of Seattle targeting 2 Chinese women, leaving 1 injured and both badly shaken. A 3rd woman was also cursed at and assaulted, and tonight the man accused is in jail. Here's KOMO's Joel Moreno with the disturbing details about a trend that often goes unreported.
With crowds of people all around in downtown Seattle, investigators say Michael Allen came up on a woman from behind and struck her hard in the back of the head, then yelled profanities and that he hated her. After that, charging documents say Allen, the defendant, turned his attention to target 2 Asian women, also strangers to him, yelling at them to go back to China. The defendant caught up to them and punched the victim.
I wish I could say I was shocked, but I'm not.
Tanya Wu is a volunteer with Chinatown International District Community Watch and says she frequently hears about cases like this.
Hate crimes towards Asians have been happening, and they've just been underreported.
The 2 Asian women are Chinese nationals, and the investigating officer says the woman who was punched in the upper back was visibly distraught and clutching her shoulder during my interview. Court papers also say both women felt the suspect went after them because of their race.
When you combine that kind of really unacceptable language of go back to and I hate you, and then when you assault people, we absolutely believe that we can prove this case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Wu says some of the most vulnerable in her community are subjected to hate speech and worse. And there's a campaign underway to get people to speak up.
We hear about these incidents still every single day happening to people here in Chinatown International District, but we're heavily trying to get people to report them.
Yeah, Michelle, workers here wrapped up their protest about an hour ago. They're laying out their list of demands for the company, everything from higher pay to meet inflation to better working conditions. They did unionize a few months ago, but tell me they're still concerned they might not get the chance to bargain. Summer tourists waiting in line at Seattle's popular Starbucks Reserve Roastery were greeted by chants from workers at the picket line. Workers are claiming Starbucks corporate is not willing to bargain with them, even though this location recently unionized.
We are truly just demanding a seat at the table to even begin the conversation of what a fair wage looks like and what fair working conditions look like.
I have plenty of coworkers who can't even afford the health care if they're on it with Starbucks, or they can't afford to live in the city either. I can't even pay my energy bill right now.
They're claiming this popular location is understaffed, yet welcomes tour buses and also offers alcoholic drinks and a bakery.
When you look up things to do in Seattle, it's like number 5 on the list. It's a great part of the community, and I love to work here, but I can't afford to work here. No one can.
The chants and signs are not what many customers were expecting this morning.
I'm kind of surprised to see this here.
It's honestly pretty interesting. It is important for these workers to have good working conditions.
Today, they are also showing support for the 5 Seattle area stores the company has said it's closing at the end of the month because of crime concerns. The locations have experienced vandalism, arson, and destruction.
Conveniently, a lot of those stores are beginning to unionize, are unionized, or on the way there.
Yeah, Preston, well, as you can imagine, there are a variety of opinions when it comes to this topic. Some people don't mind another mask mandate. Others don't feel it's necessary.
If you thought mask mandates in King County were a thing of the past, think again. King County Public Health Officer Dr. Jeffrey Duchin says the county is seeing more cases per day than the peak of the Delta surge. He also says over the past week, there's been 21 new COVID hospitalizations per day. That means about 1 person hospitalized each hour.
We are in active discussions about if and when to consider issuing a mask mandate.
With high transmission rates and how fast variants like BA4 and BA5 are spreading, Dr. Duchin is recommending people to mask up indoors in public places, especially where there are large crowds. We stopped by Queen Anne Beer Hall to ask customers what they think of bringing back a mask mandate.
I think the masks are critical, depending on where we are in the stage of COVID, outbreak. If we think there's a threshold where we determine that, yep, that's where we are, then yeah, I'm good with masks coming back.
The owner says he wants to leave that decision in the hands of the customers.
We feel it's the choice of the person. Everyone's really excited to get back to normal right now. Our guests are having a great time, and we kind of feel that it should be left up to them.
2 years later, Dr. Duchin reminding people that the fight against COVID-19 isn't over.
COVID-19 is not one and done. this is going to be a real long-term challenge for us.
Anyone who loves crab, the price of crab from Alaska is dropping substantially after it skyrocketed last summer. Remember that? KOMO's Suzanne Fawn joins us live from the Seattle waterfront to explain. This is good news, Suzanne.
It definitely is. Just in time for the big crowds. Some restaurants here on the waterfront, like the Crab Hut, could see a big jump in demand for crab. We hear there's a bigger supply of crab this year and some great deals to be had.
I am a crab lover. Get it probably whenever I can.
This is a good time to be a crab lover.
Pretty much can eat my weight in crab meat.
And a great time for many Puget Sound seafood restaurants.
Our freezers are packed with Alaskan crab.
The cost of crab from Alaska is dropping dramatically after last year's sticker shock.
Last year, it was double the price it is right now. The price of crab, to give you an idea, Dungeness crab sections from Alaska were in the $16.60 to $17.50 range. A pound. Pre-pandemic levels, they were at $7.25 to $6.50. Now they've came back down to the $8 range.
There's several reasons for the price drop.
So it's the first time inflation's working to our advantage. We had big countries taking lots of Alaskan crab, Japan and China. This year, with inflation in their countries, they're not taking as much, which is leaving Alaskan producers with freezers full of crab, giving us an opportunity to purchase that at a lower rate than we were before.
Restaurants like the Crab Pot on Pier 57 are jumping on the opportunity.
What we're focusing on is bringing in different species of crab that are not in-house right now. One of them is Bairdi, known as the Queen of Crabs, straight from Alaska, here as a special.
Jake Jacobson is with the largest cooperative of crab fishermen. He says the prices have been dropping.
It's been dropping since January, so it looks like it's finally steadying off. Prices come down quite a bit. It's very affordable now.
John Speltz is with Wild Salmon Seafood Market. He sees the change coming.
We experienced tremendous fish inflation over the last couple years during COVID as people move through their inventory and we get new production coming in at the price on both Dungeness crab and king crab is going to come down in price.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.